Hi, everyone. I have the privilege of having the last presentation of the day, so I'm going to try to wake you up a bit by asking you if you have already thought about how AI could change the way we recognize our own skills and how we can analyze our own strengths and behaviors. So I'm Eric Cherel from the Learning Planet Institute. Maybe you have seen François Tadei, who did an intro, I think, yesterday. And I'm Chief Information Officer. I'm trying to create some platforms to transform education. So this project has been going on for a few years. It's about Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese framework where instead of just thinking of orientation with what job opportunities are available and what skills you have, it's about thinking of all these dimensions. What you're good at, so your skills, but what you like to do, your values, what's important to you, what the world needs, the causes you want to serve, and what you can be paid for. And ideally, we would like anyone, especially young people, to think about the 4 dimensions and try to align their career and their orientation choices with that. And when you think that you're spending about 75,000 hours of work in your whole life, choosing something that is useful, that you enjoy, and that will pay your bills, and that you're good at, would be a wise choice. So for a few years, we had a research project within LPI, which was not digital at all. It was not a platform. It was just exploring Ikigai and creating a lot of activities and trying them on a lot of different populations, students, people switching work, people unemployed. And 2 years ago, we actually decided to create an application, an online app, to try to do that at scale. And it was at the moment where there was this explosion of generative AI with the ChatGPT moment. So we seized that and we tried to create a framework, a digital framework that would be help students and learners be reflexive about all these 4 dimensions by discussing and having deepening conversation with an AI and learning more about themselves to make wise choices later in their career and also possibly to present themselves better to future employers. So the first part is about the values. So here you have an example of a discussion that you have with the app. So it actually works on a smartphone. Right now it works using Discord, which is a chat app which is very well known by the students, and most of the students have it on their phone, so it was a good choice to do the first experiment. But we want to create a WhatsApp version very soon to be able to send it to a lot more users and professional users as well. So here you see that Spark, the name of the chatbot, is talking with the learner, and the learner can give like very complete answers on have a deep reflexivity on what's important to her. Here she's talking with the app about supporting, I think it's migrants and people in personal experiences that she did not do at university or high school. And after each of these 4 parts, the system will create a card where you have a personalized image and a personalized text explaining to you, or defined by you and the bot, to display your value and then your strengths and the causes you want to defend. So here you have an example with the values. This can be used by the student as a basis for a discussion with other learners, but also for herself to think about it. And the idea is that the students can reuse the app every 6 months or every year and see how they evolve and if the choices that they take still make sense. So the second part is, I think, the most relevant in the ePIC context, because it's about exploring your strengths. So there are actually two parts in this. We let the learners do an online survey. It's actually something that we did not design. It's a survey which is available online and which is open source, which has been created by, I don't remember which university, but an American university. And the learners have to agree or disagree to about 100 questions, which will profile them. And then they can use the information that gets out from this survey to continue the discussion with the bot. And the bot will ask also questions to let you go further on, try to define which experiences you did that helped you learn this strength, what skills are related. And the idea is then, again, to create a card that will capture your strength and why you think you have it. So here, for example, it's an example from me. So it's not actually a real one because I changed it a bit, but it shows you how it could be for even a professional. It's not necessarily a student who needs that. We all need actually to think regularly about our values, our strengths, and the causes we want to defend. So, yes, sorry, no. Going on, the third part, if you remember, is what the world needs. So what the world needs is actually, well, a lot of things, but you can discuss with Spark, the bot, what's important to you. And again, with deepening questions, here Sophie is discussing about her ideas about ecology. The system will let you, again, arrive at something more specific that's important to you personally. So here, in this case, she was really passionate about green urban living. So again, you can have cards which are really created for the student. So it's really engaging to the student. I think someone just before mentioned that the fact that we were not always able to do appealing visuals was a drawback. Well, I agree with that, and I think we should really do things that look good and that are engaging for the students. The idea is then for the students to discuss together and not just be by themselves in front of a computer, but use what they learn about themselves to discuss it with peers. And again, after this experience, they go back to the bot, which gives them suggestions from all the data that was discussed to help them write their own ikigai. Ikigai being a sentence saying what's your life goal professionally or personally. So in this case, for example, we had someone who actually say that. It's a guy, his global goal was to help a large number of individuals to find meaningful work. We did this already on 1,200 students. So the project started, the digital part of the project started almost 2 years ago. The first year we were able to test it on 400 students, and now we passed 1,200 students with a really, really good feedback from them and from the teachers as well. So it's all that is interesting. How does it work? As I told you, right now it's on Discord, but we want to make it completely API based and a framework that we can reuse on WhatsApp, but also on a smartphone app or any web app that would use this. And behind the scene, we have our own database, our own backend that is leveraging an AI. So here it's mostly OpenAI, but also Mistral and other systems. So for both the text, but also the images. Obviously, there are risks with systems like that. You don't want your children to be completely dependent on exchanges with an AI. So the idea behind it is to have a very non-prescriptive system. The idea is that it helps you think about yourself, also in a positive way, because we discovered quickly that it was important not to ask questions about bad feelings of students, because you can have, sometimes you have students with who came from difficult backgrounds or are refugees. Or so obviously you have to be really careful on how you frame the discussions on the questions. And there are also issues with how we handle the data. It can be really personal data. But if we do that carefully, I'm convinced that it can have a lot of value for the students. Because let's face it, recognizing your own skills is a difficult skill that the students do not have. And that most of us, even after years of work, we are not necessarily extremely good at knowing what we're good at. So I'm pretty sure that with a discussion with an AI, that is patient, that is not non-judgmental, you can think about yourself and try to define what you can do, what your values at, and what the world needs, and try to align that with your job opportunities. So this is a very quick presentation, but this project is ongoing, and we are really looking for partners, which can be universities, companies, whoever feels interested, because this project is getting a lot of momentum, and I'm pretty sure we can make it something really, really important and interesting. We are discussing with UNESCO to create a global initiative to help learners all over the world learn more about skills linked and capacities linked to SDGs resolution. And this is going to be one of the tools of this global learning experience. So I now take questions if we still have time.
Thank you very much. We have one question here.
What kind of partners are you looking for? What do you need from these partners?
We need a variety of partners. We need experiments on a larger scale. So we need academic partners who can provide access to a large number of students. That's important. And I say students, but it would be also useful to have partners with access to a large number of unemployed people or people who want to switch jobs. We need money. Developing AI and advanced system costs a lot, so we need partners who can bring funds to explore this faster and to deploy state-of-the-art apps. If you want to make things look really good, be really responsive, be strong enough and resilient enough to handle millions of users, possibly, that's something where you need a lot of investment as well. And it can be also networks of professionals interested by this field who want to participate in the research. So we're also looking for research partners. We, for example, we're already working with some partners. I think it's at the University of Wisconsin, on specialists on personal development growth, and also helping us assess the risk, psychological risk for the students. But we also need to explore other dimensions. And last of the partnerships we're looking for is how to link this with data from the market, the job market, so we can provide opportunities based on your Ikigai. That's the next step.
So did you fine-tune the model, or are you using a out-of-the-box model, and what guardrails have you got in place?
Okay, so the bots is actually many bots. Most of them are actually OpenAI GPT mini bots, but that we have customed a lot. And we do an orchestration of all the small conversation with our own Python and database development. So if I explain it, it's hard to explain really simply, but you have like little exercises, little bits of conversations, which are each one conversation with a bot, and the results are analyzed and put in a database by our system. And then when we start another very small conversation for another part of the experience, we only take the bits which are useful and which were stored in the database. But we don't completely develop a complete LLM. We are leveraging several LLMs.
And at the end of the process, is there an open badges in order to write to capitalize of the Ikigai inside to valorize it?
Not yet. Right now what you have is things like that, and also the cards like this one. So it's not really an open badge. And I'm actually thinking about it, but it's not a priority so far because at this point it's really for reflexivity for the student. And if, for example, they're able to take this card and display it on their phone and share it very easily on the social networks, in most cases it will do the job. It's not that something where they need like a digitally verified credential or something like that. There's no proof in that. It's a reflexivity work. So yeah, later on, why not? But so far, it's not a priority.
No more questions? And thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you.
We can applause.